closing deals to opening minds. This is the Mr. D podcast. I'm Omar Andreasen, and we're about to get real about real estate, success, and the grit that it takes to build your best life. Let's dive on in. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Mr. D podcast show. So today we are featuring Alese Johnston. Now, listen, Johnston.
Yes,
Did I say Johnston? That's right. There's a T in there. My English teacher would not be very happy with me. Sorry, Miss Reineke. All right. So anyways, so let's go into a little bit about Elise. She's actually a seasoned entrepreneur, investor, and she's also best known as the founder of the Fabulous 70. I got to ask, what is that? The Fabulous 70. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a quest I set for myself when I turned 70. So I was sitting on the couch, sipping some coffee, reading the Wall Street Journal one Sunday morning, just before my 70th birthday. And there was this great article by one of the writers from The Simpsons who was riffing about how he had just turned 60 and realized he was boring his friends telling him the same stories all the time. And I was going, oh, I do that. And he said he set this quest to go out and do 60 new things that year so he would have new stories to tell. And so my response was, your own, brother, I can do this. So I set out to do 70 new things the year I turned 70. Which I got to tell you is no small undertaking. There are only 52 weeks a year.
You have to double up on some weeks, huh?
That's right. So it definitely gave me some new stories to tell. And I started a website so I could write about each new thing that I did, partly for accountability and partly because I just love to tell a good story.
So these 70 new things, are you doing them just by yourself, or are you accompanying some people with you on certain times, or tell us more about that?
Oh, it just depends.
Okay.
Like one weekend, my kids took me to my first NFL game.
Oh, who'd you go see?
The Chiefs, of course.
Oh,
At
Kansas City
home.
lady. Oh, okay.
Honey, that is the loudest stadium in the world. You hear people say that, but it's a whole other thing when you're sitting there.
I
It
can
just vibrates. It's so loud.
I can imagine. So was Taylor there when you were there?
No.
So that could have been like two things you could have checked off maybe on one day.
This might have been pre-Taylor.
Okay. So,
Yeah, because I've actually completed the 70 things before my 71st birthday.
all right. So I gotta ask, is there, out of the 70 things, which is a lot, and congratulations, by the way,
Thank you, sir.
is there at least one? If you want to sprinkle two, you can, but is there one that really stands out and that you were really happy to make that accomplishment?
Yes, I did an indoor skydiving jump, and that was revelatory. That first step's a doozy. It's a little scary, but you have somebody in there with you, and so you know you're safe the whole time. But it was an experience.
So I have to ask, after you were done with that, the next day, how sore were your stomach muscles?
Yeah, that's a core workout. It is. Surprisingly, the really unexpected physical part of it was you've got to hold your head at exactly the right angle in
Hmm.
order to be able to breathe. So you can strain your neck muscles trying to get your head adjusted properly. That I didn't expect.
Yeah, I remember. So I did the same thing, and I remember then the following day, I'm like, why are my freaking stomach muscles so sore? And it's because
Right.
you have to be that perfect formation to grab that wind and to hold that.
Yeah.
Because it's different when you're doing it indoor, because obviously when you free fall, then you could be whatever position you want. But there, it's like you learn the right formation you have to be. Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations! I love that.
Thanks.
All right, so your life goes from tech to real estate. So I want to talk a little bit about that. How did you transition across industries? And found your footing in real estate?
The transition into real estate was really easy. At the time that first started, I was consulting for a bunch of banks in New York City, helped launch one. So that was the whole fintech thing. But I was making a little coin at the time and needed some place to put it other than in the bank because the returns are not that good, obviously. So my daughter was selling real estate at the time, and she calls me one afternoon with a listing she found that she thought I needed to fly home, take a look at. So it was a self-storage facility in Cabot, Arkansas. So I went and took a look at it, and it took us a little while to work out the deal to purchase it, but I eventually ended up owning it, and it was just a great adventure. I loved it. It was self-storage is so much better than single family homes or apartments, and in my it fits me better anyhow. So that's how I made that jump. And once I owned my first one, I was hooked. I was always looking to buy another one. So,
I imagine with self-storage, you know what? That has to be easy. Okay, you didn't pay your month rent. All right, we're changing the lock or the code. You can't get in until you
right.
pay us, and then I'm sure there has to be a certain amount of time. Then from there, you can take over the storage unit itself, and then hopefully there's something in there worth value that you can get your money back. But at the end of the day,
Hopefully.
yeah. Or you call, I don't know, do they still have Storage Wars? Is that still on TV? Is that still a thing?
George Wars is a thing, but in my opinion, it's largely staged. But yes, you can sometimes get some of your money back by doing an auction, but rarely do you get the full amount that was owed. But that's always interesting to unlock somebody's unit and see what's in there.
I can imagine. All right, here we go. We're gonna go a little bit different path. Have you ever had to take a unit over and what interesting things have you found in the unit?
More often than not, there is an old mattress that wasn't wrapped up right, so it's full of bugs. There's an ancient TV that no longer works. But the funniest one we ever found was we opened this unit and there was nothing in it but a taxidermied deer head.
Interesting and weird at the
Right.
same time. They were paying so much money to keep a head
Uh-huh.
inside.
Somebody's wife wouldn't let him have it in the house, I'm sure. There had to be a story.
I don't know. Did you open up the head? Maybe there might be some money in there, diamonds.
Oh God, no.
No.
No. Huh. I
Because
guess I missed that one.
because I would have been there. I'm like, wait, if he's paying, let's say, $80 a month, I'm like, what? Why would somebody pay so much money on something like this? Is there something hidden inside the head? That's where my
Good
mind would have went.
question.
But that's not.
Yeah. Except legally, you're not allowed to touch the stuff.
Okay, so ever?
No, it goes, the facility owner can't touch the stuff. We can inventory it, but we don't even move it around within the unit because you never know if the original owner might come pay their bill before
Mhm.
auction. They're allowed to do that right before auction and pay off all their fees and stuff and get their unit back. But it pretty much has to go straight to the person who buys it without you messing with it.
Got it. So you can never, so if it's a box of some sort, any kind of box, you cannot open that box at all. You
Nope.
can only auction it and then the true owner. Question, can you, as the facilitator owner, can you buy it yourself at the auction?
I could, oh gosh, don't, this is not legal advice. Consult your attorney first. I think I could have sent someone in to bid on it, but I
Hmm.
can't just straight up set the price and buy it. I have to let it go through the auction.
I see what you're saying there. I see what you're saying. Okay, okay. Almost like some mafia stuff in a way. Send in Tony. And Tony, this is the
Tony,
price.
yeah.
That's right, guys. Send in Big Tony. And then Tony, when someone starts going past another price, you just look over at that person and Give him a glare of some sort, but yeah, send him Big
I
Tony.
love it. Most people in the storage industry have quit doing auctions in person and just do online auctions. Like
Why is
you
that?
list the unit and put a bunch of photos up, and the advertising is much better. You get a better response.
Mm.
People will bid online when they won't drive to the physical facility and show up in person to bid.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And you also reach, I'm assuming you reach a much bigger crowd as well.
Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, business wise, yeah, I can see how that makes a lot of sense. Or at that time, I guess you can't send Big Tony no more, huh? No.
No,
All
no.
right, we tried.
Nice try.
We tried. That so I love that. All right. So it seems yeah, how many times have you reinvented yourself throughout this process, through life,
Oh.
as far as through profession, through the 70 new things?
Honey, I am the queen of reinvention. Like I had an art degree in college and thought I was going to be a professional artist and realized real quick that I like to eat and so did my daughter. So I went to night school and learned how to code and did that back in the 80s before
Hmm.
a girl coder was really a cool thing. And did that for a number of years, then left the corporate company I was working for and started my own consulting company. Did that for a number of years. Then I got into storage facilities, did that for a number of years. And then I, one weekend, went to an event called Startup Weekend here in
Hmm.
Little Rock. I was bored and didn't have anything better to do, which is never a good idea. Unsupervised. So I was fascinated with how all these entrepreneurs thought. It's like the banking industry is very rigid. There's a process for everything, and it takes months, if not years, to affect change. But I got exposed to these people who were sitting there bouncing new ideas off of each other and thinking in very creative ways. And they went from Friday night with just an idea to Sunday afternoon with a pitch deck and a prototype for their idea. And I was going, wow, this is a different way to look at the world. So I talked a friend of mine into joining me on the journey, and we went to some classes together and learned how to launch a company. And I tend to launch a new company every 3 or 4 years. I have learned that at my core, I'm a fire starter. I like to come up with new ideas and give birth to them. And once they hit that teenage stage as a company, it's time for somebody else to corral them. And so then it's time to reinvent and go work on a new idea.
So you said something interesting there. You said you love how entrepreneurs thought.
Yes.
Dive a little bit more into that. And what was it that you saw? Wow, that I'd never looking at that entrepreneur or looking at a group of them is they think this way, and I was taught to think this way. What was it that really stood out?
That difference between the corporate banking mindset that we've always done it this way, we're always going to do it this way, we're not going to change, to people who see nothing but endless possibility,
Mm,
who embrace change and new ideas. I don't know if you've had any exposure to the exponential organization concept. I ran across some YouTubes by Salim Ismail a while back talking about exponential organizations, and that will blow your mind wide open. This is all about experimenting. It's like you don't even have to know up front what you're trying to accomplish. You do these little short-term experimental sprints to see what will actually work, what will connect with the customer.
hmm.
And that takes that entrepreneurial mindset that I was so charmed by and puts it on steroids. And so that currently has my attention to learn how to build something using that approach.
What was it called again? Experimental?
Exponential.
Exponential. Okay. Exponential
Exponential organizations, EXO.
organizations. Okay. And you said a name there.
Yes,
Oh,
Salim, Salim, Ismail, Ismail.
okay.
I've become a fangirl of Salim. Love the way that man thinks.
It's interesting how you said thinking like banks, because I've always thought the banks are pretty much they live in a square and nothing
Hmm.
ever is and never nothing doesn't go outside that square because
No,
these are our rules. This is how we do things, and that's it, done. Where I think banks, and I wouldn't be surprised if your institutional banks like you see today will pretty much be dead here soon because you have more online banks coming. You have banks that think outside the box. They're disrupting the banking industry. Almost everything's getting disrupted, especially with
yeah.
AI. AI is disrupting a lot of different things on how people think, how we pretty much run our lives now, right?
Mm.
So I love how you talked about how the entrepreneur thinks. I love how you went to the startup weekend and took a friend with you. Now, when it comes to that, it seems like what do you think, why do you think reinvention is key for humans?
There's a lot of science that shows how critical maintaining neuroplasticity is for your brain. There are studies that will show that people that sit around and don't ever do anything new tend to get dementia and Alzheimer's. And I think it's just super important to do new things. And a big part of that is taking a look at yourself. Like you as a human, what is the highest and best value of you now? And that's different. You're going to find a different answer in your soul than when you were 20 or
Mm,
when you were 30. It's like we grow and change. And I don't know why society expects us to pick one thing and do it our whole entire lives until we retire and then we do nothing and have no value. And I just object, body and soul, I object to that mindset. I think we should always be capitalizing on the accumulation of what we've learned in this life journey and finding new ways to create value, new ways to express ourselves. I can get on a real soapbox about that.
You don't know, but you're spot on because I don't know how many people I've known that are older, such as family members, and they start declining faster because they're not using their brains anymore. They're
Yeah.
not being active anymore. They're taking they're like true retirement. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I get that. Yes, please enjoy life, but there has to be something else that has to be engaging this thing up here because or not, that just starts affecting everything, right?
Everything. There is science that shows that it just cascades on itself. You slow to physics, an object in motion. We
Mm,
all learned that rule early on, tends to stay in motion.
correct.
And if you increase the speed, then you'll maintain the higher speed. But people that slow down and hit the rocking chair haven't had a new idea in years.
Mm.
Ugh, that's a
It
waste of breath, in my opinion.
it is. It's almost they've been programmed in their head. Okay, maybe early on by their parents. Well, okay, you work until this age and then that's it. You just die.
Yeah.
You relax and die.
If you want to die,
Yeah,
more
if you
power
want
to
to. I
you,
mean,
but it's
yeah.
not on my list of things to do anytime soon.
You know what? We're going to talk about this list because you got the 70, right? So have we created a new list or what?
Yep. Yes.
All right, I want to hear about that list.
I can't quit. It like started something, and now I'm always looking for something new to do. Or at a minimum, like recognizing when there's an opportunity to do something new and saying yes to it instead of saying limiting things like, I don't know how to do that, or I've never done that before, or I can't do that because I have nobody to do that with. It's all silly stories we tell ourselves
Mhm.
instead of opening up to how expansive life can be. It's full of new adventures. We just need to go out and do them.
It
So,
is.
yes, I continue to write my blog posts. Every once in a while, I share about something new that I've done. But really, I try to do new things all the time, even if it's as little as taking a different route to the grocery store.
Okay. I like that.
Just go a different way. You don't know what you might run into.
One of the things that I do is if I go to the grocery store, I gotta buy something different.
Ah,
Something different that I never thought I would buy, number one. And I've always thought about trying, but I didn't. Or I've walked by this item several times now. Let me buy it and see if I like it.
very cool. I like that. What have you tried new most recently?
It was so I walked on the international aisle and it was some kind of Indian paste cream.
Uh-huh.
And I tell you what, I love it. I actually put that like on my rice. I put it on my seasonings now. And I was like, wow, that was really cool. And then there was another time I kept on walking by these pickles. Now, these pickles were fairly expensive. They weren't like your $3 pickles. These are like $15 pickles. I'm like,
Well,
$15 for pickles. What the hell is this? I'm like, all right, what's my rule? All right, grabbed it, took it home. Now I kick myself because it's a family delicacy now. Me, my wife, and my oldest daughter love these damn pickles and they're spicy and we all like spicy food.
uh-huh.
So it's got to the point now, listen, the pickles just went up to almost like 20. How about we try doing this? We keep so now what we're doing is we're creating pickles at home together. So we're keeping all the juice and everything and the peppers from there. And then I'm like,
Uh-huh.
let's just put cucumbers in there. Let's see
Yeah.
how they taste in about a month. And you know what? It's actually really cool. So it's not something we turn into a little family thing that we enjoy doing as well.
Oh,
But yeah, it's just you never know where that one thing, like you said, that you pick up differently is going to spin off to, right?
yeah. Yeah. My daughter knows that I'm always trying to figure out more ways to eat protein, which is a bit of a challenge for me. And so she was telling me about peanut butter powder.
Mm,
I had no idea there
yes.
was such a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I'm on a quest to figure out more ways to use it because I do love a good peanut. So
It's
we
fun.
better be putting peanut powder in things.
No, peanut butter is all there's, you know what? There is something that I picked up something at the grocery store and I thought it was peanut butter and it wasn't. It was like because it was in the peanut butter aisle, but it was like it was a peanut butter like some kind of wafer, something. I'm sitting there and it was I tasted it. And I'm like, damn, this is good. And I kept on eating. And my wife goes, what are you doing? I'm like, eating the. She goes, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was peanut butter. I looked at the jar sheet and she looks and she goes, oh my God, that's my favorite. I'm like, I've been with you for almost 12 years. I've never once seen this in this house. And she goes,
Uh-huh.
well, she goes, have you seen the back and how fattening it is? I'm like, no. I looked, I'm like, oh, I was like, but it's good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you just never know. You turn something fun into a family, and you might find out something about your spouse or a friend.
That's the fun thing is you try something new and you end up with someone and you end up having a conversation with them and learning something about them that you never would have known otherwise.
Exactly.
That's fun.
That is amazing. So, listen, before I let you go, there's one more question I have to ask you. Okay.
Okay.
So, if you can just leave one deed behind, one action, mindset, or even a lesson to all our viewers and listeners, what would that be?
I had this conversation last night at dinner I got invited to, and I was talking to this amazing young woman. It's probably 40 something, and she's already a venture capitalist. And I'm just blown away by her career trajectory. And she's a charming human with just magnetic energy. And I asked her what she thought was the key to her success. And she says, just show up. And I thought, that's interesting because that's what I'm always telling people, just show up with an open mind and see what you can learn. And you never know what new adventure might happen because you just agreed to show up. You don't turn down the invitation.
That's amazing advice and very true because you never know what if you show up that the position you might be in, the person you might meet, that person that might take you a completely different road that you never even thought you would go down. And you never even thought about it because it just wasn't there because maybe the opportunity never opened itself up and or you at that time that's not where you were focusing on. And then now your focus is completely expanded, right? So no, I love that. I absolutely love that. Elise, I just got thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day.
You're welcome.
And hopefully, maybe today was one thing you can cross off on your list.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I got to talk to you.
There we
It's
go.
another new thing.
Oh my God, you're amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Guys, listen, I wanted to thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning in to the Mr. Deed podcast show. Please remember, actions actually builds empires. Stay focused, stay hungry, and sometimes you just got to give life a little bit of a whammo. I'm Omar Andreasen, also known as Mr. Deeds. Take care and have a blessed day. Oh, and happy Halloween.
Happy
Oh,
Halloween.
that's right. I gotta take the kids out. Oh man, it's gonna be hard. All right. Stay blessed, everyone. Take care. This is Omar Andreasen signing off and reminding you that success in real estate and in life is built one deed at a time. Until next time, keep it real, stay sharp, and don't forget to give life a big whammo and keep moving forward.